Scream. Hi, Finch. So, first off, apologies as I'm going to be eating, but you don't know what today is. I know that today was hell on earth. What else about today? The hell does that sound? Also, I forgot we ended back at Zeke Meyer's first quest point. Because he did. And that's sad. It's your birthday, what? Happy birthday, man. Oh my god. What can we do to celebrate? Gotta be something we can do. I love that emote. Hold on. Can I do this? Let me see if I can do this. Oops. Steam gonna let me do this? First off, I don't know why you're not. Maybe I just can't see the badge. But if you're not VIP, I don't know why you're not. Let's fix that. Second, if it'll fucking let me do this. No, I don't think it will. Very important. Oh, that's why. Okay. I see. Alright. Bench. You let me know when your sub runs out, and I will renew it for you. That's what I was trying to do, but it won't let me. I think it's because you're currently subbed. Thanks for the effort. Okay. You were gonna renew today? I'm not sure why it's not letting me. I'm allowed to ban you. I can do that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why it's not. There's no way for me to gift you a sub. It doesn't let me. Here. Hold off on the renewal, and I'll look it up. Once I'm done streaming. Okay, so yeah, number one, I'm gonna be eating because I'm real hungry and my food just got here. So sorry about mouth sounds. Number two, I've got some coffee here, which is very sugary and very caffeine-y, and very much not what I've been trying to do with my body, but I think I'm gonna need it, because holy shit, today was brutal. Today may have been the hardest day at my job I have had since I started working there. Caffeine. It was insane. I'll talk about that later. Today we're gonna go over... We're gonna venture into the Catacombs. Finally. No, actually there weren't a ton of customers. It was pretty average in that sense. The problem was... today, so Mondays and Thursdays are the 2 days that we get our food order. And putting away a food order is a very, very difficult job. And extremely tiring. On top of that, they asked us being me and the opening prep person, because there's always an opening manager and an opening prep person, to come in 15 minutes later than we normally would, to compensate for some shift of hours, because there was no grill person this morning. So at 9:15 or so, we got there at 6:15, around 9:15, the other prep person had to go open grill. So all that stacked on top of each other basically meant, on top of just being extremely tired from putting away the order, which took me like almost 2 hours to do. And it's just, it is like exclusively heavy lifting. That's all it is. It's just heavy lifting and organizing. Anyway, here we are in the Catacombs. Let me not lose my focus here. Now, I'm running past these skeletons because if I were to kill them, they would respawn right now. Because of this little dude. A necromancer. Now that he's dead, these skeletons won't respawn. Yeah, my back is fine. I didn't hurt myself. It was just extremely tiring. By the time I finished putting away the order, I was like drenched in sweat. It was like I felt disgusting. And then I had to work my whole shift. I also ended up staying like almost an extra hour. Wait, is that true? No, I stayed exactly 1 extra hour just to get everything done. Yeah, it was a rough day. A nice salty flavor to the food. Chipotle. Alright. I want to take a quick look at this door because I never do look at it. And I don't know if there's anything significant on it. So we see some etchings. We can't really decipher it. And then it looks like maybe a shield and 2 flames. Or perhaps 2 bodies. Hard to say. If they're flames, it'll become clear why. You remember we were talking to a bunch of clerics earlier this playthrough? And they were apparently coming to delve into the Catacombs. They went on an undead mission to Lorethrough to delve into the Catacombs and retrieve and gain the right of kindling. Human salt. I mean, you're making some right now, Finch. I have to take breaks here and there to take nice big chomper bites out of my food. We'll learn more about what exactly the rite of kindling is a little later on. But for now, we've got this switch. Behind it we see the same design as on the door. Except it's upside down. That's interesting. That looks more like fire to me than it is like bodies. There are cogs. That light's closed for some reason. Damn. I wonder if there's any way to actually see that door open. I don't know. Hi, Lee. Looks like a Nautilus shell. Yeah, I could see that. Well, we can't see it now. We see these statues everywhere. This one has a face that looks a hell of a lot like that PvP build that I ran into last stream. The giant dad. Need divine. Yeah, so if you come here with a divine weapon, that's another way to deal with the respawning skeletons. I prefer to just go for the necromancers myself. It's not too much added work. Alright. Don't stop on me. Alright. The fact that they are giving me their souls upon death tells me that they will no longer respawn. If they're under the influence of a necromancer and they are going to respawn, then they won't give you souls when they die. This is pretty straightforward. Certainly is. And catacombs certainly are, I suppose, accurate. That was a cool little roll that guy did there. Sheer amount of beetles disturbs you. Lucerne. I don't think there's any, like, super interesting text on the Lucerne, but I don't remember. It is a neat weapon. I'm not going to use it, but it is kind of neat. Halberd with a large, hard beak-like protrusion. Inflicts thrust damage instead of thrusting like a spear. The wielder of the Lucerne aims to club the head with its hard beak. So it's a halberd. It's kind of a spear and kind of a hammer. It's an odd weapon. I think I used it in one playthrough, I don't remember. I hate this game. Where is Terraria? You are Terraria, cat. Find yourself. Self-help. I don't know why you can come into this little alcove here. There's nothing here. Alright. Wait. Ah, he broke it. I wanted him to roll. Nice emote, cat. Nice B-mote. It cute. He is a PvP legend. Alright, so we see a necromancer over that way. Hey, he is. Silly little lad. Also see these weird floating heads, which we have seen in one other place. When we went to New Londo, those weird big old blob enemies that were just like a bunch of corpses piled together would spit those guys out. This turns the bridge. These guys are going to respawn because I'm not getting any souls from them. Notice over there's another switch that I can't reach right now, and if we look through this crack, look, there's a hidden bonfire. We'll find a way to reach that later. For now, I got to deal with that necromancer. I love when they just roll off into the distance. Alright, they all should die now. Which book of the Bible is Dark Souls? Chamber of Secrets. Why can't I pick this up? There's clearly an item here. I'm not allowed to pick this up. I can touch Bloodstain. Let's see how this silly boy died.
Oh, yes! Whoa!
That was well done.
Whoa! Whoa!
I don't know why I can't... I can't take that item. That's really fucking weird.
Whoa!
Oh well.
Whoa! On call! On call!
I'm wondering how I want to do this. I think I'm gonna go this way. Yeah. I think it's... Oh, it must be the other side. I know, let's take a look around here. Goes. Very cool. I can't remember the name for these. They are not urns. There's a specific name for these kind of pots. And they're actually used to put corpses in. And then you bury them. Like an old method of burial. Scary. Got some twinkle boys. some of these shoot out spikes. See, the ones that shoot out spikes have a different design on them. Spikes here are coming out of what looks like a little face. That's 3 dots in here, and then on the top there's a different face. And we'll see. We'll end up getting one of these 3 masks. Essentially, these are masks, and so that's the mask of the father on this one right here. And these 2, the one that has the spikes coming out of it is the mask of the child, and then on top is the mask of the mother. We'll learn more about those later. Heck. Can't believe I've been bamboozled like this. I don't remember where all the spike guys are. Kraken. Stabbing the father. Prison for dads. Hashtag prison for dads. Alright, scary again. Scary part 2. Now I'm here. Back at the bonfire. Amazing. So I guess that's really just for the crystal lizards. I didn't actually remember them being there. I thought there was an item there. I guess not. I guess I'm remembering it correctly. This is probably one of the areas that I've explored. I've explored this area thoroughly, but not as many times as other areas. This is one of my, like, fewest times explored areas in the game. Now there's going to be a necromancer, one of these parts. I'm trying to remember where. Oh, there he is. Now we'll let them come to us. I hear them. Okay, one of them just fell. Alright. Push this lever. I don't quite remember what this lever does. I think it opens a door. But we will see. Interesting how that just keeps going down into pitch black. May or may not mean anything. Only because areas in the past that we've seen that just fade off into black typically are areas that have been, like, taken over by the abyss. But I don't know. I don't think that's the case here. I think it just looks that way because it is very deep. Elden Ring news? Huh? The Switch. Press the button and receive Elden Ring news. You know that orc? Motion. I think there's anything else around here. Ooh, pertinent to us. But yeah, that switch opened up this little door here. And that kind of just goes off into nothing. Not into nothing, but that drop will kill us. We can go this way. Here's another thing I need to go for. Actually, maybe I'll go for it. Nah, I'll go get the bonfire first so that I don't have to run all the way back here in case I fuck up. Elden Ring. Thankfully not canceled. I don't know what happened to... Oh, you know what? I do know what happened. I should have gone to this area earlier. Normally you'd meet Patches here first, but because I waited for the clerics to go through the Catacombs, he's no longer here. That's a shame. I messed that up. Basically, Patches will ask you... he'll act all friendly and he'll ask you if you're a cleric or not, because, you know, he's wondering why you're in the Catacombs. You say you are a cleric, he immediately kind of becomes standoffish. I am Sonic. The real Sonic. Also, sorry I'm eating another mic, I'm really hungry. If you say you're not a cleric, he'll assume that you're here to loot for random treasures like he is. Regardless of what you say, though, you'll hit this switch to flip over that bridge that we just did. As you're trying to cross that bridge, he'll flip it back and try to kill you. And then you can come back and talk to him and be like, oh shit, sorry, I slipped and hit the button by accident. My bad. And that's pretty much the extent of that interaction. Over here's an invisible wall now. And back here we have that hidden bonfire. Alright. Whatever. Can you kiss him? You can kill him. It's kind of like kissing. Alright, we're gonna run back over this lip real quick. Because we go over here, we find secret. Great scythe. I'll read in a minute. Down even further. I think I'm actually going to turn around, run back so we can go through this linearly. Scream head. Alright, so this fog doors is the other side of that bridge that we turned over. That's all. Those boys coming? Oh, you're not. Oh, you are dead, boys. Maybe. Maybe not. Nah, never mind. These boys are not dead. Oh, bye. Alright, let me read the scythe. He's coming. There's new cover art for Elden Ring? Really? I haven't seen it. Alright, you know what? We're gonna read the scythe later, because this guy won't leave me alone. That's fine. I am gonna go over there, but first I want to find this necromancer, because I seriously do not remember where all the necromancers are. And I'm getting tired of all these skeletons. Gotta be like over here. And don't worry, we are gonna come back and look at all of this. I want to deal with necromancer wherever the fuck he is. Oh, you know what? If I remember correctly, that's actually pretty decently far ahead. Unfortunate. Here's what we'll do. We're gonna save and quit just to drop aggro so that we can explore more thoroughly. In the spiral stair area. That might be? I don't remember. Anyway, we'll come back to that. So there's a Titanite demon over here. I want to try to take a look at these coffins. Hard to say what's going on because it's hard to read the texture, right? I don't know. Kind of just looks like a bunch of people, like, huddled together, and maybe like one of them is cowering from something on the right side there. One of them almost looked like a centaur. I don't know what that was about. Very low res texture, so it's hard to see. Oh, that's a wolf right there. It's a person backing away from a wolf. Interesting. That looks like someone kneeling over another person. I don't know. Might not be much to gain from that, if anything. I might not have to deal with this guy. He's guarding, I think, 3 Eyes of Death. Which I have 4. And I think you need 3 for this to be able to trigger. But you'll notice you can nestle in this coffin that's open. Bull orgy. I'm gonna mute myself for a sec while I eat. We're gonna sit in this coffin for a little while. And then something should happen. Alright. So, it'll be quick, but I want you to look at the top of the screen. Keep looking at the top. Oh, there he is. Did you see him? Did you see the skeleton? Helly boy. He's gonna be here again. Oh, never mind. I guess it's when you go back. Oops. Watery cavern. Tomb of the Giants. That's the opening we came in through. We were dropped through. Big ol' open area, and then we got the 2 giant coffins here. And who is that? It's Nito from the opening cutscene. First of the dead. Most certainly first in rank amongst the dead. Quite possibly the first person to ever die. And he appears to be a giant. And it's quite possible that humans didn't come about for a little while. Humans didn't exist for some time. Sometime after the Age of Fire had already begun. Dark Souls 3 lore might conflict with that, but Nito is clearly a giant. There's a good chance that Gwyn is a giant. There's a good chance that the Queen of Izalith is a giant, just because of her sheer size. Basically, the further down into the catacombs you go, it'll eventually become the tomb of the giants. So it makes sense that the older generation were giants. But anyway, we can pray to the sarcophagus Gravelord. and enter his covenant. They are grooving. Let them go. Gravelord Sword and Gravelord Sword Dance. I don't remember how many Eyes of Death you have to offer to get the upgrade to that. Maybe either 5 or 10. I don't have enough regardless. Anyway. Gravelord Sword Dance. Miracle known only by the servants of the first dead, Gravelord Nito. The phrasing there definitely makes it seem like he was the first person to die. Not first of the dead, just the first dead. But that could also be a translation thing. Hard to say. Giant Gravelord swords jut out in vicinity. Nito sleeps deep within the Tomb of Giants, quietly overseeing all death and waiting for his servants to usher in the Eye of Death. Neat. And then we got Scythe and the Gravelord Sword. Gravelord Sword. Sword wielded only by servants of Gravelord Nito, the first of the dead. Crafted from the bones of the fallen. The miasma of death exudes from the sword, a veritable toxin to any living being. I'm not sure if that actually has a gameplay effect. But it's interesting. And then where's that scythe? There it is. No, that's the other one. There it is. Great scythe. Weapon with a long curved blade converted from a wheat harvesting tool. The magnificent sharp curved blade instills fear in opponents. Perhaps it is their survival instinct at work. So there's been some speculation about this coffin next to Nito's. Hawkshaw has a good video on what they think the coffin is, who it belongs or belonged to. But based on a few little hints here and there, and mostly based on other mythologies, there's a chance that this coffin belonged to a goddess of wheat and harvest, which harkens back to that design that we saw in Anor Londo that kept popping up, that was like a bread basket and a kiln and some wheat. And then we also find this weapon that's for wheat harvesting right near Nito. And he's got this other coffin next to him. Here's a third coffin if you use the binoculars. We're at. Up there? Oh, right there. You're right. Huh. Really interesting. I've never noticed that. I wonder if maybe that was supposed to be Nito's child or something. Could just be nothing. Could just be a background prop. But still worth speculating about when it comes to FromSoft. Even the smallest details could have significance. That's cool, I never knew about that. Alright, let's get back in our little car bed. We're gonna see our Skella friend again. Ever so briefly. There he is! I had a theory about the statues of the mother, child, and father reflect Nito's family, and maybe Pinwheel is an obsessive cultist who is trying to copy Nito or be like Nito. That is certainly a possibility. That's not a bad theory at all. could absolutely see that being the case. It's also worth noting that we'll get to this later, but Pinwheel's name in the Japanese version is literally a joke. He's literally a joke boss. It's not just that he's easy, but he's actually made to be a joke. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Let me backtrack a bit. Oh yeah. There's the lad. See the necromancer up there. I don't remember how to reach. I wonder if you have to come at him from above. Or maybe it's just through that hidden area that already opened up. Oh, wow. No, I don't. No, there's no way to climb up here. We'll still hop down here and grab the thing. The boy, very cool boy is gonna appear. There he is. Dark Moon Seance Ring. Alright, let's get the fuck out of this room. Ow. 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 I went at the wrong side. Alright, it worked out. Yeah, I don't remember how to get to that. Been so long since I did this. Anyway, let's read the ring. I think we're in the clear here because they all fell into that pit. Although they can climb ladders. Yeah, let's read the ring. Dark Moon Seance Ring. This ring is granted to adherents of Gwyndolin, Dark Moon deity, and Lastborn of Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight. Grants additional magic attunement slots. The Dark Sun Gwyndolin is the only remaining deity in Anor Londo. His followers are few, but their tasks are of vital importance. So if we wore this ring inside the one bonfire, the Dark Moon tomb, the room with the memorial to Gwyn and the Silver Knights that died at the kiln of the First Flame. If we wore that ring there before killing Guinevere's illusion and revealing Dark Anor Londo, the statue of Gwyn would disappear and we would be able to join the Dark Moon Blade Covenant. Interesting that you find it hidden away here. It makes me wonder if they tried to fake Gwyndolin's death. Either if Gwyndolin tried to fake his own death, or if his family was so ashamed of his existence, because we do know that they made a serious effort to hide him away from the world. That they just pretended he was dead. Hard to say. Could also be totally unrelated, but those are the thoughts that come to my mind. I seriously don't remember how to get to that Necromancer, so we're just gonna plug on forward. Use the Dark Moon Blades works the same in Dark Souls 3 as they did in Dark Souls 1. Instead of more fucking summons for hosts. Well, that's the Blue Sentinels. Dark Moon Blades do function. Oh wait, no. Wait, how do they in Dark Souls 3 you... As a Dark Moon Blade you... no, yeah, they do work the same. You invade just before Anor Londo. right after Sullivan, if there are players there. Right? I think you're thinking of the Blue Sentinels, which is a different covenant. That covenant comes from Dark Souls 2. Really wish I knew how to get to that Necromancer. Oh my god. I get wrecked by 2 tiny skeleton men. Anyway, let's go down here because there's a cool feller. Nice. I got stun locked from the fall. Nice, I got stun locked. Twice. Ow. I was leaking. That's one word to use. I gotta figure out how to get to that Necromancer because those skeletons are a pain in the ass. I feel like you have to get there from over here. Not. That is a lot of beetles, though. I like how it's just a scrolling texture. Fuck, man, I can't remember. It's been so damn long. I think the last time... Get the fuck out of my way. What are you doing? Game sucks sometimes. Hop off. Try to do it again. So we find another one of the Black Knights here. He dropped it here for us. Just the chite? The chunk. Alright. Now everyone's favorite little part in the game. The pin wheels. Not the pinwheels, the bone wheels. I'm actually going to backtrack, but there's one other thing. Oh, there he is. That's right. I thought he was further ahead. Alright. I'm dead. I'm super dead. Oh. Oh, I'm alive. Hell yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. Yeah. Jesus Christ. That's why people hate bone wheels. At least now we should be able to deal with those skellies. But we're gonna take a slightly different path this time. Yeah, I imagine Pinwheel probably would have been a pain in the ass if they made him actually difficult. I love when they just roll off the ledge. Alright, so if we look down from... United. I'm gonna top off. Yeah, here. I'm gonna top off just because I don't remember how much damage you take from this fall. So over there is where I was last life. If I landed here in human form, I'm not gonna bother with it because there's no point. But if you land here in human form, there's a summon sign for Paladin Leroy. But we're gonna learn more about Leroy later. Yeah, we're just not gonna bother with it because it's super not worthwhile. This upcoming boss is literally a joke. So let's go kill him. I wonder if Leroy can kind of solo this boss in the same way that Tarkus can solo the Iron Golem. I've never seen anyone try that. I'm not going to learn today, but... yeah, probably. Kill it, man. So here are those masks that we saw on all those statues. Yeah, so this is Pinwheel. That was Pinwheel. Oh, got the Mask of the Child. One of the three masks of the Pinwheel, the necromancer who stole the power of the Gravelord and reigns over the Catacombs. This mask, belonging to the naive child, slightly raises stamina recovery speed. My personal favorite of the masks. Mask of the Father raises your poise, and Mask of the Mother increases your health, if I remember correctly. That is such a difficult boss, it's true. You can see all these, like, sort of enlarged embalming tools. That's what they look like to me. Which would make sense, as you'll notice we're in a giant coffin right now. Like an enormous coffin. Which might be indicative of where we're going. Also, very vaguely make out some patterns down here. It looks like the same design that was on the door from earlier. But with these circles around it. I think people have compared this to a symbol that we'll see in the DLC, but I don't know that there's any real bearing there. I'm pretty sure it's the same symbol on the doors that we looked at earlier. Here's the dude he was experimenting on. Chopped off his right hand. Also, I didn't actually notice this until just now, but there's like a little indentation on his forehead. Which makes me wonder if maybe Pinwheel made that indentation himself, or perhaps we'll learn later on that there's a possibility that Cyclopses exist in this universe. Not that that would be a Cyclops, because he clearly has eye sockets. But, yeah, I don't know. That's an odd detail. I thought father was a quip load. Is that not what I said? What did I say? Oh, I said poise, didn't I? No, yeah, you're right. It's a quip load. Alright, and now the lighting changes drastically. Can barely see anything. We have these little lights to guide us. Light? Eh? Also, back around here for a secret item. Just a soul. That spits us back out here, just before Pinwheel. This game canon to Kenshi? You're gonna have to ask Finch about that one. Alright. Now, you might remember last time we saved Solaire, and in doing so we received a special hat that's really gross, called the Sunlight Maggot. It is literally a bug on your head, but it emits this light, and it's extremely useful for this area. Even after memorizing this area's layout, I still have repeatedly died here just because it's so easy to mess up. This is the Tomb of the Giants. And here's a giant now. Look how happy he is. Such a happy boy. Look at his hexagon nose. Wow. Thankfully, there are no necromancers in the Tomb of the Giants. Or if I want to drop there yet. Trying to remember the layout of this area and if what the best way to go about doing it is. I think we want to just progress downward for now. We're gonna come back and grab these items. We can see Lost Izalith from here. That's very interesting. That right there is the cliff side that we fought Ceaseless Discharge on. And there's that giant dome that we were looking at. And that there... It's funny because the lava is still here, even though it shouldn't be, but, you know, it is what it is. That's the path that wraps around and goes back. So we're kind of directly above the Daughter of Chaos bonfire right now. I killed. I think it's best if I just go the normal route for now. Wee. There's Patches. Hi, Patches. Alright, before we interact with Patches, I'm gonna turn around here and... Wow, look at that ladder. Wow. Who'd have thunk? Isn't that crazy? Oh, look, a bonfire. That's weird. She killed her. Who is her? Who be her that you speak of? Patches is a... I'm not gonna kill him though, because we can get some dialogue out of him later. Even here. Funny, see that little spike that keeps protruding from the left side? That's actually my head. Can't really see it, but, and this is a leftover relic from Demon Souls. So in Demon Souls, instead of binoculars, you have a spyglass. And when you look through it, it basically zooms in over your shoulder and you can still see your character model in Demon Souls. And, oh, the Daughter of Chaos. I want to talk to her first. We need, I need to trade away the Sunlight Maggot in order to speak to her. So I'm going to do Tomb of the Giants first, and then we're going to go talk to her. And then we'll probably kill her, haha. But yeah, in Demon Souls, when you're looking through the spyglass, you can still see your character model. It just kind of zooms in over your shoulder. And the character will kind of look left and right over and over again, like they'll keep twisting their body. It's like their spyglass animation. So, I believe that carries over in this game. That animation. But, one, I don't think it's an animation that you can see on other players, because if you like invade someone or you're doing co-op with someone and they pull out their binoculars, they just stand still and look through them. But if you look through them here, clearly he's looking left and right, because that protrusion keeps coming back. And it depends on where the camera is. So I think he's actually doing the look left and right animation there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's the case with Demon Souls. Like the online aspect to it. I'm not sure. Before we move on, let's read the Rite of Kindling, which is the item that we got, or, oh, I think it's a key item, that we got from killing Pinwheel. Rite of Kindling. This secret rite allows bonfires to be bolstered further with kindling, so that even more Estus can be collected. Kindling was a sacred rite passed down among clerics, but all undead can imitate the process, in the same manner that they restore their hollowing with humanity. How peculiar that humans had found little use for humanity until they turned undead. It's funny. That's a funny line. Not much to read into there, I don't think, but it's still a funny line. Also, the icon for the Rite of Kindling, interestingly, appears to be a humanity sprite on fire and keeling over in pain. To compare, we can look at... Hold up. We can look at humanity. So that's a humanity sprite. It's got this kind of white aura around it. And then, the Rite of Kindling, to compare. The same shape, but it's like keeled over, and it's on fire. Poor boy. Alright, let's go talk to Patches.
Good day. You look reasonably sane. What are you doing in the catacombs? Are you a cleric or something?
Nope.
No? Really? Then I'd have no qualms telling you. There's a fine stash of treasure right down that hole. I found it first, but, well, we're friends now. So I'll split it with you. In any case, have a look. It'll shimmer you blind.
Alright.
There. That hole. Take a closer look.
Good day.
Where's the issue? What's your problem? Take a peep in the hole and check out that treasure. Where's the issue? Take a peep in the hole.
That's the treasure he's talking about. So fun little, let's just talk about patches a bit here. Actually, you know what, I'll save it for when we talk to him later. Talk all about patches later on. Look what he's done.
This is what I do, my friend. The trinkets I'll be stripping off your corpse, that's the real treasure.
Hey, thanks, Patches. Skull Lantern. Large Soul of a Proud Knight. So the Skull Lantern is arguably an even better item than the Sunlight Maggot for getting through the Tomb of the Giants, because while it does take up an equipment slot, so like you can't hold up a shield at the same time, these blue illuminations will actually show you a path. It's like a safe path to follow. We're gonna stick to just the Sunlight Maggot, though. You guys remember, Petrus came back to Firelink saying he had lost track of Rhea, who is right here. Bumlight Maggot. Agreed. Clearly something happened. Here's Vince and Nico having gone hollow. Let's try to get them away from Rhea so they don't kill her by accident. Come on. That's one down. You just tried to fucking kick me. What are you doing? I'll kick you, asshole. Ow. That hurt. Come here. Alright, Vince and Nico are no more. So Petrus abandoned the three of them suspiciously close to where Patches is stationed. What's up, Rhea? How you doing?
You banished those two hollows, did you? It pains me to think of the trouble my failings have caused. I am certain that both Vince and Nico are grateful to you. Thank you so very much. Here, these belonged to them. You deserve them more than I. I am certain that both Vince and Nico thank you so very much.
Alright. Thought she had more dialogue than that, but whatever. It was the plan all along. Would seem that way. Certainly seem that way. Alright. Let's work on getting out of here. First off, there's an item here. White Titanite chunk. And then these scary bone tower boys appear. My god. Ow. Oh, look at him go. That's a jam. Okay. Swirling and twirling. See where it takes us. I hope this isn't too disorienting for those who don't know the layout of this area. Rest assured, I'm not skipping over anything. Quit your twirling. Dancing buffoon. Secret. So if I remember correctly, this might just be a thing in Dark Souls 3. I know for a fact that this is a thing in Dark Souls 3 because, as we'll discuss later, patches shows up in all of the Souls games. But I think if you go down there backwards and you take out all the enemies first and then you go talk to Patches and he pushes you off the cliff, he'll be like perturbed that you're not in danger. Be like, what the fuck? You weren't supposed to go down there first.
Oh, you. Well, let's just calm down. Talk about things. I did you wrong, but I didn't mean it. These temptations, they can, well, overcome me. You know what I mean, don't you? Please, forgive me. You and me, we're jolly undead outcasts, aren't we?
Sure, Patches.
Oh, brilliant. A second chance. Wonderful. I had a feeling you'd understand. I did. But, if I were in your shoes... Ooh. Who knows what I'd have done. But now we're friends again. Eh?
Patches, you fool. We are friends, though. I'm being. Yeah, you can definitely do that in Dark Souls 3 if you kill the giant before interacting with Patches. Patches. But, I don't remember if it's a thing you can do in this game or not. Sorry, I'm eating food. I eat lost food. Wait.
I did you wrong, but I didn't mean it. These temptations. You know what I mean, don't you? Please, forgive me.
Alright, we're gonna leave Patches be for now. For now. It's my money and I'll eat when I want to. Now. Head off this way. Now this is a room. There's 6 giant skeletons here. And it is very easy to die to them. Okay, I think we're in the clear. That worked out really well. I don't know why this one aggroes first. It's really odd. Come here. Come on. Oh, it's because that one's facing the other direction. That makes sense. Alright. We're good. Soul of a brave warrior. Here we can see another theme. Hey, Waffle. Waffle, I have good news for you. Because I think you missed it because you had to go. But, we ended up saving Solaire. My boy. My metal boy. Really hard to make out what any of this actually is. But that looks like a cog at the top. Could also be that same flower pattern that we've talked about, but I think it's a cog. Yeah, I really can't make out the rest of it. It's too blurry. And here we have that same line on the floor from earlier. You've got this diamond here, which is the same diamond that was etched into the forehead of that one skeleton. Interesting. Yeah, this is the same design. So it's a diamond with 2 gravestones next to it, and then it looks like a gravestone, something with fire on the sides. Remember who it was. Either Hawkshaw or Mitch L, I think, talked about this design. I don't remember what they concluded, but it was interesting. We see what seems to have been at some point a blacksmith's tool shop, workshop. We get the large divine ember. That'll let us bring divine weapons past +5, if I remember correctly. Give it a read. Ember required for weapon ascension. Large divine ember of secret church rites, intended for select divine blacksmiths. Secret church rites. Makes me wonder if this blacksmith was a part of the church. It is interesting. I think it is just a gameplay consideration. At one point it was supposed to be more significant, but I think in the final state of the game, it is just a gameplay consideration that we get these embers from petrified statues of Andre. Pretty sure it's just a gameplay consideration at the end. It's supposed to be like, hey, look, it's Andre. Maybe you should bring it to him. Because the embers that we don't bring to Andre, we don't find on those same statues. Outfit makes me look buffer. I don't know, look at that waist. Alright, now we get to go to the fun part of the Tomb of the Giants. Everyone's favorite enemy. It's the skeleton dogs. There he is. I don't know if these are actually dogs. Probably not, based on the skull structure, but I think they're just giants that have been, like, warped over time. I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is an actual skeleton dog, because the skull is a little more elongated than the other ones. These guys can fucking one-shot you. That attack. I hate those enemies. Alright. This area can actually be pretty rough. So I'm gonna try my best. There's a chance I'll fuck up and we'll have to play through this a couple times. It's these skeleton dogs in particular. Gonna be brutal. And I got super stun locked there. Nice. I was not expecting the Black Knight to run all the way up there. He usually stays put. Yeah, we did Painted World a while ago. I've been archiving the streams though. They're in a collection on Twitch, and I've been naming them based on what we did in each one. Man, I can't even stun lock him? God damn. This area is gonna be a huge fucking pain in the ass. Oh yeah. It's all worth it because of this. Okay, we're gonna wait for the Black Knight to come to us. I didn't think he would aggro from that far away. But it's gonna be another halberd Black Knight. Got the timing, very good. Didn't drop his halberd for us, dang. Black Knight halberd is arguably the best weapon in the game. It is, at least for speedrunning purposes. Or at least the most common route uses the Black Knight halberd. Now this actually a useful message. Here. Ow. 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 I hate this area. But something that we can see a little hint of here, and that's super cool, is that we can see the top of Ash Lake here. Which tells us that Ash Lake is indeed the lowest point in the map in the game. Covetous Silver Serpent Ring. I don't know why they put it all the way here, over here. Really should be an item that you find super early in the game. Not super early, but way earlier. But let's read it. Silver Serpent Ring. The serpent is an imperfect dragon and a symbol of the undead. Its habit of devouring prey even larger than itself has led to an association with gluttony. This silver ring, engraved with the serpent, rewards its wearer with additional souls for each kill. Great item for farming souls, but by the time you hit this area, there's a slim chance that you're ever gonna need to farm souls. So I think it's a really missed opportunity there. I'm gonna do my best to just skip over these skeleton dogs. Gonna ignore that boy. We do want to backtrack, however. Oh, this is the part with 3 skeleton dogs, isn't it? Oh, maybe not. Maybe that dude just aggroed. Oh no. You're not gonna let me through, are you? Shit. Okay. Pass there. I hate this area. Alright, so back here, little pathway, and another bonfire. Great. Pockets? What are you talking about? What did you find pockets yet? Or wait, did you... I don't know, what... Rusty pockets. Oh, patches? Yeah, we already talked to him. This is past that. Now if we go back this way, this is where that Black Knight spawns, back here. And he's protecting... Effigy Shield. Which I believe is another one of those shields that you can actually also see the bonfire from here. I think that's supposed to be your hint. If you ever go back this little area, that's your hint. There's a bonfire. But, the effigy shield, I'm pretty sure, was another one of the contest shields. When they made Prepare to Die edition, they made a contest for fans of the game to submit their own shield designs. And if I remember correctly, 4 shields were added. One of them was the effigy shield that we just picked up. One of them was the... I'm looking in the wrong section. One of them was the blood shield, which we picked up in the painted world. One of them was the night shield, if I remember correctly. And I don't remember what the 4th one was, but let's read the effigy shield. Small shield. Frightful occult shield. Defends against divine weapons and lightning. In an ill-fated plot to destroy the very gods, the followers of the occult once attempted to seal the power of Gravelord Nito, the first of the dead. So again, this is in reference to that whole plot against the gods that Havel was planning. Let's get a good look at that shield, because it's actually one of the coolest shields visually in the game. And interestingly, might actually have some lore to it, despite having been designed by a fan. We'll take a better look at it once we're back in Firelink, where the lighting is better. But for now, trudge on ahead. Oh, you know what? I gotta go human. I gotta go human. Go ahead and pop a twin. Might as well kindle this. My network connection has been lost. What? Oh my god. I can't believe it. Oh wait, I thought I thought you were just saying pockets to be cheeky. We'll kindle this once. Nice to have the extra Estus here. Alright. Now we'll go ahead. Alright. Various ducks. I'm gonna keep going. Drop down here. We go over here. We keep on running. And now this little hole right here, this is what was blocked by the orange fog gate before. And here's Paladin Leroy. There he is. The name is very likely a reference to Leroy Jenkins, as Leroy is the only paladin in the entire Dark Souls franchise, if I'm not remembering that incorrectly. Goodbye, Leroy. He drops Grant and Sanctus. It's actually possible that Sanctus was the 4th shield from that competition, but that seems strange to me because of the fact that it's attached to Leroy. I have to look into that. Now we can get a better look at the very top of Ash Lake here. The trees holding up the rest of the world. Get a better look at that now. Actually see that the trees are holding up the giant root. Chop them down for firewood. You can craft an axe. And a sword. Craft a workbench. Okay, let's read stuff that we just got from Leroy. Grant. A legendary weapon of the Way of White, granted to an undead paladin long ago. This mass of iron can only be lifted by those with inhuman strength, but it is blessed and very effective against agents of dark. And we also got Sanctus. Where are you, Sanctus? Gotta drop those shields. Sanctus, a legendary weapon of the Way of White, granted to an undead paladin long ago. Once blessed with the protection of a white flame, but its power has all but faded so that it provides only slight health recovery. Clearly, the design of it is supposed to be emblematic of the Way of White. Got what look like... I mean, it looks like a flower, which is interesting. Not the same flower design we've been discussing, but it's got this white ring in the middle. It's hard to see in this lighting, but it has this white ring that's supposed to be the same white ring associated with the Way of White. And we'll talk more about Paladin Leroy later. He's a very interesting character. Was Paladin Leroy just an English thing, or was it the same in Japanese? I don't know. I actually don't know. That's a good question. I don't really need to fight these guys. Here we see what are not quite humans and not quite giants, something in between, but these are all skeletal remains of some creatures. Maybe the pygmies? Hard to say. Maybe giants that are just smaller for gameplay consideration, I don't know. But they're all kneeling and bowing and praying to the same spot. And we're gonna see them all around this area. We also see a bunch of fucking pinwheels. I don't know why pinwheels here. I've actually never been able to figure this out. But maybe the idea is just that Pinwheel made a bunch of illusions of himself to go raid Nito. Because he did steal the Rite of Kindling from Nito. It's just kind of weird. Also, skeleton baby. He's gonna get me. Oh my god. These little skeleton babies. They're so cute. Ow. But also morbid. Skeletal remains of skeletons, yep. white Titanite slab. Pretty rare item in this game. I feel like there's one other white Titanite slab you can find in a single playthrough, but I don't remember. I think that might be all the items here. Oh, there's that. Soul of a hero. I like their run animation. Their hands stretched outward. Very goofy. They drop humanity. Interesting. Didn't actually know that. I wonder if I'm gonna get banned from Twitch for showing. Alright, here we see all these torches. This is where they're all lined up to pray. Also, let's talk about Pinwheel real quick, because I said I was going to talk about him earlier and I totally forgot to. So, in the Japanese version, Pinwheel's name is Sanban Yori, I think. Which is a play on words. Nissan Byori is like a thing that they do at various festivals in Japan, where two people will get under like a big old robe or something, and they'll control separate arms, like extended limbs from this robe, and it's basically like, you know, it's like a costume you put on for festivals or whatever. I'm not really sure of the significance of it, but Pinwheel is literally just a play on words. He's Sanban Yori, so it's 3 people inside one of those. That's it. He's just a joke in the Japanese version. It's pretty dumb. Alright. And now this area that we're coming up on should be familiar. And, fortunately... Oh, you know what? I can't wield this, can I? No, I can't. Shit. That would have been a good idea. Fuck, that's actually pretty bad. Yeah, I don't have any divine weapons, so... At least none that are worth using. I don't think I have any, period. Yeah, no. So, this next boss fight is significantly more difficult if you don't have a divine weapon, because there's a bunch of ads in the fight. Let's swap back to my normal sword. A bunch of skellies that will keep respawning, and there's no way to stop them from respawning unless you kill them with a divine weapon. So we're gonna have to deal with them and then rush down the boss real quick. We'll see how it goes. I might just get super fucked. But you might also recognize this drop off. Maybe not from here. Not from here. I'm in your covenant, don't hurt me. Alright. Gravelord Nito. We don't want to go too far into the arena, because then that'll aggro more guys. Ow. Messed that up. Okay, I might just be dead here, because I can't move. Alright, we're good. The nice thing is that Nito will kill his own skellies. That's his miasma of death, by the way. Fun fact. So this fight is significantly easier if you don't have to deal with the extra skellies, but it's still not terrible. Alright, we got him. Lord Soul. Miasma of bad breath. Oh. Brush your teeth once in a while, Nito. Jesus. Alright, now there should be... I'm not seeing it, which is worrying me a little. There should be an item drop down here. I think if I quit and reload, it should reappear. Let's do that. Yeah, there it is. The Paladin set. So presumably Leroy made it all the way to Nito, but then died trying to take the Rite of Kindling from him. Also worth noting, it can be a little hard to tell when you're looking at him, but Nito is he's just one giant skeleton. All the little skeletons you see hanging off of him are like kind of like a coat. He has like this yeah, I guess it's like a jacket of other smaller dead people. Pretty cool. Pretty edgy, honestly. Also, sorry about this. I'm gonna mute myself real quick so I can break up. Okay, I'm back. The designer skeleton. Ooh, this is the first coffee I've had in a long while. Nice. I try not to drink coffee too often because at one point in time, a couple years back, I actually got addicted to caffeine from drinking too much coffee, and I love coffee so much that it's very easy for me to get back onto that. So I limit my coffee intake by a lot. This is the first coffee I've had in a very long time. I like coffee, Waffle. Wow, that's crazy, Obo. Let's read the Paladin set. It's got some really interesting lore on it. Armor of Leroy, Paladin of the Catacombs. Long ago, the Way of White produced its first undead. A paladin in golden armor. With the legendary treasures Grant and Sanctus, Leroy set out for Lordran, land of the gods, in the first undead mission of the Way of White. So, this is a pretty big deal. We now know that the Way of White, or Way of Gwyn, as it might be called. White is kind of synonymous with Gwyn. Due to, like, name meanings and things like that. They definitely create undead forcefully. It's possible that they are the original source of the undead curse. Yeah, that's the thing, Waffle. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if they produced the first undead or their first undead. That's a very interesting distinction that's not totally clear. Based on the way that this is worded, I would say it's their first undead. But we also see in the intro cutscene, and this is something that a lot of people kind of brush over, but in the intro cutscene, when it starts talking about the undead curse, we see a dead soldier and a maiden from Thorland. She's wearing the maiden set. She's a maiden from the Way of White, kneeling over him. We look at his corpse. He doesn't have the dark sign. She then prays over him and waves a hand over his eye, and suddenly he has the dark sign. So the Way of White is artificially creating undead, and we don't know if they created the first undead, or if they just figured out a way to make undead after the undead curse started popping up. I am personally in the boat that they kind of had a means of creating the undead curse in the first place, but it's hard to say. It's very hard to say. It's also interesting that Lloyd, Gwyn's uncle, who, by the way, his title is Allfather, and it's never clear why that's his title. There's a good chance that Lloyd created humans, based on that title, and the fact that humans revere him so highly. But yeah, Lloyd founded the Way of White, and the Way of White would produce undead, and Lloyd would encourage his followers to then hunt the undead. It's a really weird situation. But they may have also produced those undead in the first place to go to Lordran. Like, becoming undead seems to be a rite that you need to go through in order to travel to Lordran. Except for Sieglind, because she's just a fucking badass. But, yeah, it seems like you're kind of expected to become undead before going to Lordran, no matter where you're from. But, you know, especially if you're part of the Way of White, or if you're from Thorland or whatever. Not that the Way of White is only followed in Thorland, but I think that's where it originates. Probably just because there's a good chance you're gonna die. Like, it's such a dangerous mission that you should probably become undead before you go. Yeah. It's also very interesting. Back in the first couple of streams, I kept talking about I would make note of when people would talk in Old English as opposed to Modern English. I have noticed other examples pop up, but it's worth noting that some of the only characters that speak in Old English are Gwendolyn, Frampton Cath, actually not Cath. Cath doesn't speak in Old English, I don't think. I'd have to look at his dialogue again. But I think it's just Gwendolyn and Frampt. People who follow Gwendolyn or Frampt, right? People who believe in what they're talking about, decide to follow their orders. And the story of the undead pilgrimage, which comes from the Way of White, led by Allfather Lloyd. So it seems like there's this big conspiracy. There's a plot developed by possibly Lloyd, Gwendolyn, and Frampt to basically trick thousands upon thousands of undead into coming to Lordran in an attempt to succeed Gwyn and link the flame again. And they're basically just trying to save their own asses and artificially extend the Age of Fire again by tricking all these undead. I think that's all I have to say here. There's a lot packed into this armor set. That's true, Hobo. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Lots of crazy shit going on. And that's why I think we're probably going to do the Dark Lord ending, but I'll let you guys choose when we get there. Now we're going to go back to Firelink. And Patches should be in Firelink now. Since we forgave him. I wonder if Ingward has anything new to say, if he just says the same thing.
Oh, hello, what is it? I will help you in any way that I can.
Yeah, he's just a vendor now. Let's go talk to Patches. Oh yeah, and Rhea. Rhea should be here as well. Well, not here specifically. She should be up in the Undead Church. We'll go talk to her as well. Thanks for saying that. I totally forgot about that. Hi, Patches.
Oh, we meet again. How many of you are there? You've come at the perfect time. I'm done with the looting. I'm a humble merchant now, and wondrous treasures have I, at a special price for you. There you are. Have a nice look at them. Oh, relax. No more funny business out of me, my friend.
Prostration.
Here, have you met that backwoods Shiva? Believe me on this one, bruv. The man is trouble.
Shiva of the
I can
East.
see it in his eyes. I just can. No doubt about it. Watch him.
So that's an interesting line. Worth noting, pretty much everything we're going to talk to Patches about here is 100% truthful and accurate. Despite Patches kind of just being a scumbag, he knows the other people in Lordran like the back of his fucking hand. And he'll just talk straight up about them. He doesn't give a shit. So it's interesting that he talks about Shiva for a couple reasons. One, we do know that Shiva is a rare weapons collector, and he will stray away from the forest to go down to Blighttown and sell his stuff. That isn't necessarily, like, a bad thing, though, right? Like, he's just kind of going off and running his own business. There's nothing wrong with that. He's allowed to take a break from the forest every now and then. In my opinion, that line about Shiva is in reference to a quest line that was cut for Shiva. So originally, there's a weapon in the game called the Chaos Blade. And the way you get it is, when you get Quelaag's soul, you can either craft it into Quelaag's weapon or the Chaos Blade. Originally, there was supposed to be dialogue for Shiva where he would ask you about the Chaos Blade because it's the one rare weapon that he just can't find, and he keeps looking for it and he can't find it. And if you come up to him with it in your inventory, he'll freak out. He'll be like, "Holy shit, that's it." And he'll attack you. And if I remember correctly, I could be remembering this wrong, but I'm pretty sure he'd attack you, kill you, like presumably if you die to him, he'll kill you and he'll take the Chaos Blade from your inventory. You could then find him in the Painted World, where in the current version of the game you fight Jeremiah. You would instead be invaded by Shiva, or at least he would be there. I don't know if he would just be there or if you would be invaded by him, but you were supposed to fight Shiva in the same place where in the final release you end up fighting Jeremiah. And he basically like goes crazy, and he's just like talking about this blade that he's like all crazy about, and he's losing his mind, and then you kill him and you take the blade from him. I think that's what Patches is referencing, and that was just a relic of cut content. That might be it, Waffle. I could be remembering it wrong. I think that might be the case. It might have been that you were supposed to invade Shiva for revenge and then take the blade back from him. That could actually definitely be. Also, I don't know if he's going to because we already killed Lautrec, but I think if you get Patches to come up to Firelink earlier on in the playthrough when Lautrec is still around, he'll talk about Lautrec as well. If he doesn't talk about Lautrec, I'll look up his dialogue. But yeah.
Yeah. Have you met that sunbathing Solaire? Believe me on this one, bruv. He's a complete idiot. But he happens to be an awfully strong idiot. So just nod your head and keep him on your side.
So believe it or not, that's actually some very compelling evidence against Solaire being the firstborn. Because Patches is actually really trustworthy when it comes to information about other people. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Solaire is exactly what Patches says. He's just a big dumb boy who's really fucking strong and thinks he's something more than he is. What does Patches' English make him? He's like a literal modern English person instead of everyone else's quote-unquote modern English. I don't know, he's a rascal. It doesn't make him anything, it's just how he talks. He's supposed to just sound kinda goofy and, yeah, maybe trashy a little bit.
Wait, have you met Petrus? That self-proclaimed cleric? Believe me on this one, bruv. The man is scum. Don't you be fooled by his claims to do good. They're all the same, those rotten clerics.
So that's a really interesting line as well. So, we know from our own experience that Petrus is in fact a scumbag. Apparently he's a self-proclaimed cleric. That's really interesting. Perhaps. So what's interesting about that is that the other clerics in Rhea seem to acknowledge him as a cleric. Which makes me wonder, are they all self-proclaimed clerics? Maybe there isn't really a rite that they go through, or maybe Patches is just talking about the church kind of being uppity in its own right. We also know that the Thoralind talisman doesn't actually scale with faith. It like, or maybe it does, but it much less so than other talismans. Which tells us that the clerics of Thoralind, of the Way of White, aren't actually very faithful to their own religion. So maybe that's what Patches is talking about there. They're all self-proclaimed because they're just giving themselves power. They don't actually care about their own religion. Yeah, it's like megachurches, exactly. What was the last part of his dialogue there? Let me see if he says it again.
Boy, have you met Lautrec the Embraced? Believe me on this one, bruv. He's completely mad. He wouldn't think twice about cutting somebody down. So watch out for him. Especially if you've humanity to spare.
That we know is just 100% accurate. Not much new to be gained from that. Just that Lautrec is a madman who kills people. Maybe mad with love or envy, because we know that he's in love with Fina, the goddess of love.
I'm done with the looting. I'm a humble merchant now, and wondrous treasures have I, at a special price for you.
Patch's prices are terrible, by the way. He super overcharges everything. Let me just look up Patch's dialogue real quick, because there's one... Ooh, almost dropped my drink. There was one other part of what he was talking about with Petrus that I forgot that I wanted to talk about. Just look up that dialogue real quick. Me on this one, bruv. Oh, also, if you're female, he says my love instead of bruv. The man is scum. Don't you be fooled by his claims to do good. They're all the same, those rotten clerics. So again, maybe Patches is smart to this idea that the clerics produce undead and are like artificially constructing this undead pilgrimage thing, this prophecy. I think Patches knows a lot more than he lets on, but even then he still kind of lets on that he knows a lot. I think whether he realizes it or not, I think he might not realize that he knows as much as he does. But I think Patches really understands the inner workings of everything that's going on here. Maybe he realizes it and just doesn't care, because he does kind of just do his own thing. He's in it for the loot, you know? I don't know. He's a really interesting character. So he sells Eyes of Death, he sells Divine Blessings, Prism Stones, Humanity, which is interesting, and Twin Humanities, presumably from killing people. He sells a couple Miracles, which is also interesting. Probably stripped those off of Clerics. He sells some Talismans. And he sells, I think it's Nico. I think Nico's the one that can't speak. I think Vince is the blonde-haired dude. I could be wrong. But I think this is Nico's axe. Crescent Axe. Well-used old bronze battle axe with a long hilt and a crescent-shaped blade. One of the blessed weapons of the Way of White. The Crescent Axe is bequeathed to cleric warriors who have proven their faith. I think it was Mitch L., who, by the way, if you're interested in Dark Souls lore from any of the games, he covers all 3 games. Mitch L. on YouTube. Really great dude. Does a fantastic job of looking into Dark Souls lore. Makes some really fascinating videos. And he's covered all 3 of the Dark Souls games in, like, a lot of depth. And he ties them all together. It's really cool. But I think it was him who suggested the idea that... It was either him or Hawkshaw. I can't remember. Hawkshaw is another one you should absolutely look into if you're interested in Dark Souls lore. Especially from the first game. Well, particularly from the first game. It was one of them who suggested the idea that Nico is losing his mind because he discovered the secret, like the dark secret of the Way of White and of the Church of Thorland. All of this shit that's going on, this whole conspiracy. They suggested that maybe Nico found out about that, and as a result, he's been losing his mind, and he can't speak anymore because of it. Like, maybe he's mumbling to himself, like a madman, because he learned this like forbidden truth. Kind of in a cosmic horror kind of sense, which is definitely up Miyazaki's alley. And then he sells the Cleric set, which we're going to read real quick. Armor worn by the warrior clerics of the Way of White, who are famous for being unyielding in battle. It is rather substantial in size and weight, making its wearer look even bigger than he actually is. Not much to be gathered there, lore-wise. Mask of the Child we already read. He also sells the Mask of the Mother and the Mask of the Father, which have the same descriptions, but yeah, Mask of the Mother increases health, Mask of the Father increases equipment load. We're going to buy both of them just because I think they're nice to have. But yeah, that's Patches.
I'm done with the looting and what? Right. Good stuff, eh? Don't you forget who got it for you.
I actually like Patches a lot, even though he is a scumbag. I think he's one of the... Once you've brought him back here, he's one of the more lovable characters. One of the more redeemable ones, believe it or not. Wow, look at that guy. Very cool. Now let's go talk to Petrus.
Ah, oh, you. Have you seen Milady? Oh, blast, where might she be? And would she be safe? Oh, I'm sorry. Miracles, was it? Sometimes I lose myself.
Interesting. Say anything else?
Oh,
No. So he seems to be feigning this... He's trying really hard to make it seem like he's worried about Rhea. if we go up here, we should be here, since we rescued her from the Catacombs, or from the Tomb of the Giants. Yep, there she is.
Hello. I will never forget what you did. I am deeply indebted, for it was not within my power to save Vince or Nico. I cannot thank you enough. In case you have not heard, I am Rhea of Thorland. I only wish there was some way I could help you. But I am inexperienced and I only know the art of miracles. If that could be of any help, speak to me again. Would a miracle be of any help to you? I would be most pleased if that was so. May we discuss miracles then?
Rare. Think she lets you enter Way of Light? Let's see. Would make sense. Pretty sure.
Vince and Nico were fooled by a lout named Hatches and turned into hollows. My prayers did them no good. It is my ignorance, my frailty that has sealed their fates. Perhaps Petrus realized my weakness all along, and thus made the decision to abandon me. I can hardly blame him now.
So now we know for a fact that Petrus willingly and purposefully abandoned Rhea, even though he acts like he lost track of her and he's worried about her. Don't tell me where you bought the mask.
Vince and Nico were fooled by it is my ignorance and the
So she sells a bunch of stuff. We're gonna come back and try to buy everything off of her, but for now, I'm not gonna do it just yet, because it will trigger something.
Then be safe. Farewell, Verianox.
Verianox. So Verianox, by the way, translates roughly to I fear the dark. If we're more literal about it, I think it actually translates to I fear, comma, night, as if you're talking to the night sky itself. Like, I'm scared, night sky. Kind of weird. But yeah. Anyway. Let's go back and talk to Petrus again. I don't know if his dialogue is going to change. I'm going to try saving and quitting and talking to him again if he doesn't say anything new. Tell her to repay with feet fix. Oh god. What if I don't think she is Hobo? Think about that. You have anything else to say, Petrus?
Oh, I'm so...
No. Okay. Let me try doing a save quit, and we'll see if Petrus says anything else. When can you kill Petrus? Soon, actually. Very soon.
Oh,
Oh, he keeps saying the same stuff. Okay. So we're gonna buy all of the miracles off of Rhea, and then we're gonna save and quit, and that should trigger one of two things. I don't remember if it's a 50-50 chance, or if a specific thing triggers it to go one way or the other. So basically, after you've bought everything from her, either Petrus will come up here and kill her, or she'll disappear and you can find her hollowed out in the Duke's archives in one of those prisons. I don't know if it's a 50-50 or not. I believe the only way she goes to the Duke's archives is if you don't kill the what do you call them? Shit, I'm forgetting what they're called. Blanking up. The channelers, that's what they're called. If you don't kill the channeler, who is standing up there, originally. We killed him like way early on in the playthrough, and he doesn't respawn. But I think if you leave him alive, he'll kidnap Rhea and take her to the archives, and she'll hollow out there. So I'm pretty sure you killed Petrus and she got bugged and stayed praying. Well, if you killed Petrus, then she just stays. She doesn't die. Oh, you mean she didn't go to the archives? So, but did you kill the channeler in your playthrough, Waffle? Because I think that might have to do with it. I could be wrong. Couldn't interact with her? Okay, that does sound bugged. I don't know. Weird. We've seen weirder bugs. We saw Griggs come back from the dead.
I was wondering when you might return. It is a great relief to see you. Now let us speak of miracles.
This game is buggier than Skyrim. Big disagree there. It is kind of buggy though. Yeah. So it might be based on whether you kill Petrus first or not. I'm not sure. I think it's based on one of those two things. It's either you have to kill Petrus before buying her stuff, or you have to leave the channeler alive for her to be taken to the archives. I think it's just that you have to kill Petrus first. But yeah, what should happen is we're gonna buy all her miracles, we're gonna save quit, and Petrus will have come up here and killed her himself.
Vince and Niko would and then be safe. Farewell, Veria Nox.
Alright. We're gonna step back. We're gonna save quit and reload. Need to ask her for feedback. Gonna be too late for that. He's still here. It's possible that we have to trigger another big game event for her to be killed by Petrus. I vaguely remember that being the case. So, like, probably I need to kill another boss before she dies. But we'll come back and visit her from time to time, just to see if it happens. And hopefully it will, so that we can get that final dialogue out of Petrus, because he says some pretty interesting stuff. No, we're not going to do that, Waffle, because then we're going to miss out on interesting dialogue. That fucking emote. You don't have anything new to say, right?
Oh, sometimes I lose my...
Anyway, I think Petrus is without a doubt the most fucked up character in this game. We never read Nito's soul. Let's do that. Soul of Gravelord Nito, first of the dead. This Lord Soul was discovered at the dawn of the Age of Fire. Gravelord Nito administers the death of all manner of beings. The power of this soul is so great that it satiates the Lord Vessel, despite the fact that much of its energy has already been offered to death. So every time someone dies, Nito is the one who kind of surrogates them into the afterlife. And as part of that, I guess, ritual, he actually breaks off a part of his own soul and uses it to, or if he doesn't break off, like, he uses part of the power of his soul, which is like a finite amount, in order to pass that life on to the afterlife. So now we've actually got all of the Lord Souls that we need to go to the end of the game. But we also still have the DLC to do, and it's getting kind of late here. I know this is a short one, but tomorrow I have work in the morning, and I want to make sure I get enough sleep for that. And we'll finish up the game tomorrow evening when I'm back from work. Yeah, this game has DLC. What are you talking about, Hobo? Tiny stream for tiny man. I ain't tiny. Fucking enormous. I'm bigger than that bird. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I wanted to cover. I suppose I could bring this ember to Andre. We can do that real quick. Oh shit, you know what? I entirely missed an NPC down in the Catacombs. I think it's actually going to be kind of a pain in the ass to do that, so I might save that for next stream. That might be the first thing we do, is we go talk to that NPC. I completely forgot about that. Damn. He doesn't have a whole lot to him, and also he's got the worst voice in the game, and it's painful to listen to, but we should still talk to him regardless, because he's still relevant, even if he does play a rather insignificant role in the grand scheme of things. Tiny man who doesn't save lady who would give you feet pics if asked. Sorry, not feet pics, feet oiks. I can give you feet oiks, Waffle. Alright. We don't need Rhea for that. I'm not an oiks. Hi, weeb.
Oh, my. What a brilliant ember you have there. I've only heard legends of such specimens. The embers used for the secret rites of divine blacksmiths. Perhaps you could lend it to me. I've long dreamed of forging divine weapons. Splendid. Splendid. Thank you. Andre of Astora never disappoints. I assure you.
I wonder if he has anything new to say.
Oh, yes. And one other thing about the Darkroot Garden. It is said to house the grave of Sir Artorius, the Abyss Walker. Only, of those who ventured into the forest, none has returned. Oh, yes.
Okay. But not really. Let's repair our equipment for the first time in this entire playthrough. Hell yeah. Alright.
Don't get yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
He doesn't want to see us go hollow because, one, will be dangerous, and two, that's less business that he gets. He's not being sentimental or anything. Although it might be fun to think he is. Alright. Watch the dance until you're dead Dark Souls version before I end stream. What? Oh, I know what you're talking about. I'm good. He secretly hates you. It's true. Nah, he loves you as a customer. Special kind of love. I wonder if there's anything else we want to buy from Domhnall here.
Aye, Shemai. I didn't expect to meet Ice.
Ice. No real reason for me to get the Master Key. I guess for if I ever do New Game Plus. We'll buy Gwendolyn's set, I guess. Neat.
You are a fine trading partner. Rumor it may be, but I have heard of a surviving ancient dragon who resides in this land. A coterie of undead serves the dragon, as they train to become dragons themselves. Sounds unlikely, but you never know, do you? I'm afraid... Thank you. That was a fine trade. I have this funny feeling we'll meet again soon. And we'll make another fine trade, of course.
I like Dawn, though. He's talking about the stone dragon there, which we've already met and cut off his tail. Pretty cool. That was last stream, I think. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna be streaming Fortnite anytime soon, weeb. I've been done with Fortnite for a very long time. I have been thinking about what to stream once we're done with this, which is gonna be, I think Tuesday I'm starting up a new playthrough, because we should be done with this tomorrow. All we have to do is go through the DLC and the last boss. Well, DLC in the last area, but the last area is very short. I'm leaning toward, either Metro 2033 or Outer Wilds. Very different games, but yeah, I'd be super down to play either of those. I do not want to play Metroid Prime 3. I own it, but I do not want to play it. The other games I was considering were New Vegas and Dragon Age Origins, but I'm less inclined to play those because Dragon Age Origins, I feel like the gameplay is going to be fairly... It's going to have a similar game feel to Divinity, and I'd rather wait until we're done with Divinity to play it so that I don't burn myself out on that style of gameplay. And New Vegas, I'm a little less inclined because, one, it's not new to me. I've played through New Vegas, like, several times. I know a lot of shit about that game, so I'm more interested in doing a blind playthrough of something. And also, I really am not looking forward to dealing with it crashing, like, every hour. But yeah, so I'm more inclined to play either Outer Wilds or Metro 2033. I don't know if you guys have a preference there. If not, I'll just think about what I'm more interested in. If you don't have a preference, I'll probably end up going with Outer Wilds, just because I think it's going to be shorter than Metro 2033. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think Outer Wilds, I mean, it depends on the player, but I think it's generally speaking a fairly short game. And a super interesting game. I am not going to play that hobo. I have no interest in playing that. Anyway, I'm excited to finish this playthrough, but it's also a little bittersweet because I love playing this game so much. But I'm also really looking forward to playing other games that I haven't played before, and I think we'll probably end up doing something like this for Dark Souls 3 and maybe for Dark Souls 2 as well. Although if we end up doing it for Dark Souls 2, it's going to be less me explaining stuff and more me learning about stuff, because I actually don't... There's a lot of things about Dark Souls 2 lore that I don't know. So it would be kind of me discovering stuff by reading descriptions and things like that and piecing things together. Less me trying to explain things that I've already studied a lot. But, yeah, we'll see. Super Mario dating sim on Newgrounds. Would be a couple streams? Oh, you mean Outer Wilds could be done in a couple streams? Yeah, I have a feeling Outer Wilds will probably take me like 2 to 4 streams. If they're like 5 hours each, which generally speaking they have been. That Flash Mario fighting game, very cool. SMBZ. But yeah, so tomorrow we're gonna wrap this playthrough up. We're just gonna do the DLC and then finish up the game. And then Saturday's Divinity. I still don't know exactly what time. I'll try to figure that out with the guys sometime tomorrow. Monday I'm gonna take off, and then Tuesday we'll start a new playthrough. Oh yeah, Sunday is gonna be secret stream, yeah. Sunday night. I don't know what we're gonna play on Sunday yet. Maybe TF2, maybe Sea of Thieves. I don't know. What did I play last time? I don't remember. I think I played Sea of Thieves. I don't know. I've been kind of feeling a hankering for TF2 lately, though. I might end up doing that on Sunday night. We'll see. Played Control? What is that? Wait, is that the... Oh, yeah, I know that. I know what you're talking about. I know what Control is. I'm not really all that interested in it. I watched some streamers play through it. Like, I caught bits and pieces, and it just doesn't look that interesting to me, personally. Whoa, did you see that little dance I just did? That's crazy. I'm not gonna raid Pokemon Weeb, it's not happening. I don't... The only big streamer that I've ever felt comfortable raiding is Peeve, because he knows me from his chat. And his chat knows me. I don't like streaming big... raiding big streamers otherwise. I like raiding friends. Infinite viewers. Speaking of which, let's see if any of my pals are online. Nope. Nice. Alright, I guess we're not raiding anybody tonight then. Again, if you're interested in Dark Souls lore and you want to learn more, or you just like watching lore videos, I'm gonna type out some names and stuff in the chat now. Hi, Weeb. So, Epic Name Bro is from the Dark series. Whoa, look at the little glow on the little stars on my sub badge. Is that because I've been subbed for 2 years? It's neat. Quote unquote subbed. So there's Epic Name Bro. There's Mitch L. Highly recommend it. He might be one of my favorites. There's Hawkshaw. Big recommend. And then a little bit less up my alley, but I still recommend Is that his name? Yeah. The Ashen Hollow. His videos are more streamlined to get views, in my opinion. But he still talks about really interesting stuff, the Ashen Hollow. He also has a slightly less, I guess, scientific, or not really scientific, historic approach to discussing lore. A lot of his stuff is based on speculation and like visual things. Marcus, Epic Name Bro, his From the Dark series basically covers everything there was ever to know about Dark Souls 1. And that includes lore, that includes mechanics, that includes the development of the game. He goes like crazy into depth about every single little detail about this video game. So that's cool if you're into that. Mitch L covers lore topics from all 3 Souls games, and he does so in a really thorough and like thoughtful way. He's very particular about, you know, having the evidence that he needs, and he's very clear about when he's speculating and when he's not. And then Hawkshaw, who also approaches lore in a very similar way to Mitch L, pretty much only covered, and I say covered because the channel Hawkshaw doesn't upload anymore because they had a series of planned videos and they have since released those. But they covered a bunch of shit about Dark Souls 1 that had never been talked about before. And this was like a year or 2 ago, I think. They basically came up with a bunch of really interesting stuff about Dark Souls 1 that no one had really considered. Things like the demon race having this really rich culture that goes back way, way long ago. Things like Jeremiah being the king of Izalith. Things like Nito being in love with the goddess of harvest. A bunch of stuff like that. Like things that are really out there that no one really bothered to think about, but that there is evidence to support. They've also talked a lot about, they have a whole video about the plot against the gods, and they've got a whole video about the timeline of Dark Souls, which is really interesting. But yeah, Hawkshaw is like, I feel like Hawkshaw is the top dog when it comes to like really taking hard evidence into consideration and going real deep with the lore and figuring shit out that no one ever even bothered to think about. But they've also got a finite number of videos, so it's very doable to consume all of their content. Mitch L is just Mitch L is probably my favorite. He just covers so much shit. He covers Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. He's covered Bloodborne. He's talked about so much stuff, dude. Like it's crazy. Anyway, yeah. Hee hee. Thanks for the hee hee, hobo. Alright. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have been enjoying this playthrough. It's almost over, so don't worry if you haven't been enjoying it. There's only one more stream of it. And if you're into Dark Souls, check out those other people that I mentioned. They make really, really good content. Okay, good night. Bye. We'll finish this up tomorrow, same time, same place.